doing it. I can't remember what we discussed here.
Remember what we said. Anytime you want to do or to record any transaction, you're supposed to ask yourself, in which chart of account will this transaction take place? Because when we talk about bank, we are simply talking about a chart of account, such that when we are transacting some money, when we are getting money from the bank, it will definitely be deducted from the account dedicated maybe for that particular expenses or transaction. So in other words, I'm simply asking you how to create a chart of account, because a bank is a chart of account. And we said that we have three ways in which we can create a chart of account. Number one, we can go through the home page where we have the company, top right. Or we can go through the list, or we can go through the list, or we can go to company, which is the same as what we have. And because it is here, we can simply click that. So once you open, you're supposed to add a chart of account. Remember, some of these accounts are just default or default. So we can right click and add an account. And
Yes.
remember, it is neither an income nor an expense. It is a bank account. Like for example, I want to add what you call a petty cash account. A petty cash account in any business is where you keep money, maybe to spend or to buy those items that do not require a lot of money. For example, if you want to purchase coffee for the employees in the office, for example, you want to buy bread for the employees in the office, for example, you want to purchase maybe an airtime of, let's say, for example, $2 or maybe $3 or maybe $50, then it means that you need to get money from a petty cash account, not a major account, a petty cash account. So I am going to open an account. We are going to call it petty cash account. So I have already selected bank account, and this account I'm going to call it petty cash account. Petty cash, petty cash account. And because we don't keep a lot of money here, let me, for example, or even if we keep a lot of money, we spend for small items that maybe do not require requisition, do not require maybe approvals, and so forth. It's something that you can spend when the people who are supposed maybe to do approvals are not in. For example, I can have this account there. Let me assume that is the account number. I'm assuming when I'm opening this bank account, I have, for example, an accountant or accountant, let's say a clerk. So I've given my clerk some money that he or she can have, so that we can keep on doing what? Running the business without disruption. For example, when I'm not in, I'm supposed to sign checks and so forth. So I decide to open an account where the clerk can be able to access the money. But petty cash what? Petty cash account. Let's say the statement adding balance is 10,000. So you can be able to see that this is petty cash. So the date, for example, was in January 2024. January 2024. So let's say that is when you open this account. So the account has what you call petty cash. The account has what? Petty cash. Remember what I said. When you want to check what you have in the bank, when you go to home page, you check register. Check register. When you're in the home page, check register to see what you have in the bank. So this small window here is going to pop up. So which bank do you want to check the balance? For example, I want to check my petty cash bank. So I hit the petty cash here, then I hit OK. It's supposed to show me what I have in that particular account. So here I have 10,000 Kenya shillings. Remember, this is what I deposited at the beginning of the beginning of the year. And because I want to spend this money, or let me show you something else. Assume I did not deposit, sorry, I did not deposit 10,000 and I wanted to get the money, let's say from Equity Bank account or maybe Kenya Commercial Bank, KCB, or probably NCBA Bank. So if you check my register here, Cooperative Bank has some money. Cooperative Bank has 298,000, 299,800. So that is what you have in Cooperative Bank. Assume I want Cooperative Bank to remain with the 200,000 Kenya shillings. I want to transfer 99,800 to petty cash account, which is wrong. That's a lot of money in the petty cash account, but I want to do it. So if you want to transfer money from one account to the other, sometimes you may have more than one bank account. Probably one bank is savings, the other one is transactional bank account, the other one is for other kind of businesses. Probably the other bank you had opened for the purpose of maybe paying adverts online. Maybe there is an organization advertising for your products and they are not in Kenya, they are using USD or US dollars. So you need maybe such an account dedicated to those kind of services or those kind of activities. So if, for example, I want to dedicate my petty cash account or probably cooperative bank for that matter, I am supposed to go to the bank, that is banking. I want to transfer some money. I want to do some transfer here of what I have in the bank. And because I want to dedicate cooperative bank is an account where I can be able to pay ads online and so forth. So I am going to transfer funds from, let's say I'm transferring money from cooperative bank. Once you select the bank, it will automatically show you the balance that we have here. Are you getting?
Yes. Yes.
Now, if you select, for example, Equity Bank, it will show you the amount that we have there. If you select, for example, Kenya Commercial Bank, it will show you the balance that you have in that account. If you select, for example, NCBA, it is going to show you that we have 4 million in that account. If you select another bank, for example, Petty Cash account, you can see we have 10,000. So I'm now transferring the money from Petty Cash account, but I want to transfer the money from Cooperative Bank because I want to retain a certain figure that can help us now to sort issues on whatever online payment. So I want to deduct this money. This is a lot. I want to retain 100,000 or maybe 99,800. So I'm transferring the money to each account. For example, I'm transferring the money from cooperative to KCB. So the account balance for KCB is already what? 1.196 million Kenya shillings. So now, how much do I want to transfer from Cooperative Bank? The figure is here. Whatever we have in KCB is already here. So I want to transfer, for example, 200,000. Want to transfer 200,000 so that I can retain some figures, some amount there. So 200,000, that is the figure that I want to transfer. 200,000, or let's say 200,800. I want to retain 99,000 Kenya shillings. So if I save and close, don't worry about the transaction being more than 90 days because we are doing that transaction right now. Then if I want to be sure that the transaction has already taken place, I'll go back to the bank, that is Cooperative Bank, and check. So the figure now is 98,900. How much did we transfer from the account? We transferred 200,000, 200,900. That is what we transferred. I wanted to transfer, let me, for example, transfer 200,000. I want to transfer a flat of 200,000. So you can be able to see that the figure is now 99 800. So that is transfer of money from one account. I want us to transfer the money again. So where do you do transfers? Obvious, if you hear about transfer, definitely you can only do it in the bank. So you check where we have banking. So you transfer the money again. I want us to transfer whatever is in the petty cash to, for example, petty cash account. I want to retain or to have zero balance in the petty cash account. So I want to transfer the money to cooperative bank. So, and I want to deduct everything from petty cash account. So once I deduct, let me see what we have in the petty cash account. Always check register. Check register. We have equity. No, not equity bank. We were dealing with the petty cash account. Supposed to read zero. So you can be able to see that it has what? It is reading zero. That means we have already transferred the money, and you can be able to see the money has been transferred to cooperative bank. This is the account. Payee is the cooperative bank. Now, if you would like, or if you want to know that the accountant has transferred some money, probably mysteriously or through fraud, you are not aware of any transaction because you are not told. As an expert in accounts, and they are using system and everything is under this system, we agree that you can check it from the report. You go to where we have accountant and taxes. This is where everything that falls, and or something that can help you now to get whatever that is happening in the business, or any trail, audit trail. So from the accountant and taxes, you can check from the list where we have the audit trail. So from the audit trail, we can be able to see what has happened in the business. For example, the garbage correction that we have done here is already in the list. So let's see, you can be able to see that there are some figures. Deposit. Petty cash opening balance was 10,000, but petty cash is now reading what? It is now reading negative. So we can be able to see that there are some transaction that happened here. Petty cash account. The money was deducted to petty cash. And who did that? It was last modified by somebody we call admin. So admin is the one who is now operating who have what we call the full rights of the system. So that is now the audit trail. You can be able to trace it if you like, and you can be able to see even when the transfer was done. So that is transfer of funds from one account to the other. I don't know whether there is a question before we move to something else. Any question?
No, not understood.
No question. So there is a question. If you look at the questions that I sent, there is one for private health clinic, which is for private health clinic. You can be able to see that we have the supplier, we have the can be able to see that we have the clinic deals with the following items. And then after the launch, the following were ordered. So there are some items that were ordered after launching the clinic. Then the clinic was opened and it registered the following clients. We have name, that is Hassan Ali. We have Habib Habiba, Sugo Godana. We have Kamau Jane, Ocheng Oneko. We have Ariel Ruto. Then below there, we have the clinic provides the following services. Number one, they provide maternity at the rate of 4,000 Kenya shillings. Then there is lab tests, that is 1,000 Kenya shillings. Consultation fee is 500 Kenya shillings. Malaria treatment is 400 Kenya shillings. Ambulance, we have 3,000 Kenya shillings. Now, you have established the following. So once you complete recording this, the kind of account that you have established in that organization. Number one, we have savings account. We have current account, we have properties, account for all fixed assets. So I don't know whether we have fixed asset in the list, but you can confirm whether we do. So the second assignment that you're supposed to do is that one for private health clinic. So on Monday, we are going to review what you have done. That is on Monday, and we'll see whether you are able to record everything where it's supposed to be, because we have already covered what is in the private health clinic. So it is not very hard for you to tackle that, because as we continue now, we'll move to the next assignment, which is a bit complex, so that you can now start gauging yourself whether you are learning or you are not learning. If you're able to record those, then I can comfortably say that you have now started getting the right concept for QB. So the other part, I wanted to look at something else, and I always give the topic so that you can be able to record or to note somewhere what you have covered, so that in the next lesson we do not have issues. And we can look at estimates, or maybe we can see how we record the assets. It is the same way we normally record the items for the assets. It is open. So for the asset, the way you normally record the stock, you can simply click here and you can select the fixed asset. We have the fixed assets, and you can select the assets. So we agree that we have different types of asset. We have current, we have non-current, or what you call the fixed assets. A good example of a fixed asset is what you call motor vehicle. We have land, we have building, we have plants, machineries, and so forth. Sometimes it is very hard to advertise or to maybe post that you want to sell, let's say, for example, 10-story building. It is very hard to get somebody who can purchase that building in a day. On rare occasion, do you get somebody who can purchase or buy that building in a day? Even motor vehicle, sometimes you will get, but at times it is not that easy to convert it into cash. Unlike when you have money in the bank, you can rush to the bank, collect the money. Maybe you have cash you want to spend, you can go ahead. Maybe somebody else has your money, maybe you supplied items on credit, then you can call them to pay. It is much easier. And those normally fall under what you call current assets. Money in the bank, you have cash at hand, the debtors, stock, and so forth. So I want us to look at the assets. So if you're writing or noting somewhere, note that we are doing what? So we have already covered, let me tell you what we have covered. That is transfer of money from one bank to another. Transfer of funds, that was the topic. That's what I was discussing about, transferring money from one account to the other. So I want us to look at the assets. How do we record the assets? And which kind of assets are we recording? So if you don't have basics in accounting, it's always advisable that you go through some materials. Like now in the portal, there are some materials that were posted here. There is a document, a complete document that can give you a grasp of what you call of the principles of accounting. If you have somebody who has no basis in accounting or foundation in accounting. But now, when it comes to the assets, we can try to see. So you will definitely add it the way we have added. So new. So you can see the kind of page that is opening. Fixed assets. Used for property you purchase, track, and may eventually sell. Fixed assets are long-lived assets such as land, building, furniture, equipment, and vehicles. So that is what we have said. And for example, if you purchase a motor vehicle, let's say we have purchased a motor vehicle, MV, that is motor vehicle, MV, motor vehicle. uh, you must select the account for this motor vehicle. So you can check from the list. Always remember that you need to have an account for this. Account receivable, you will only receive if you had supplied items on credit to your customers. So once they pay, we normally call that account receivable, or account that is uh, receiving from the customer. Petty cash account, we have talked about it. And deposited funds normally happen when you sell items on cash, and probably you forget to deposit. I'm going to show you how we do that. Furnitures and equipment, we can maybe, actually we can change this, and we can, let's say these are the seats. We have office seats, office seats. I'm assuming. So when we talk about office seats, we know these are basically the furnitures. So furniture and equipment. You see now it has already been categorized under what? Fixed assets. So purchase description, item is new or used. If it is used, you record it is used. For example, you can say that we have purchased what? Second hand. Second hand offices. So they are not new, but the question is, how much did we purchase? When did we purchase? For example, if I purchased them today, the cost of purchasing these seats, how much? Let's say, for example, you have purchased the item at 150,000. So you can record the vendor. If we have the vendor here, for example, we have purchased them from where? Which furniture shop? We can talk about maybe modern furnitures. Modern furnitures. Let's say we are purchasing them from modern furnitures. Now the description here is inactive because this is purely meant for use in the office, so it is not for sale. So if item is sold, you can record here. If the item still in the office, you can just assume this. So asset description, we can talk about asset description. We can say they are second hand. For purchase description, we can change the purchase description and say that we have 100 seats at for example 100 seats at 15,000 Kenya shillings. At 15,000 Kenya shillings. That way it will now add up to 150,000 because we have 100 times 15,000. So, but for the asset description, their second hand office what? Seats. Where did we purchase them? Maybe we purchased them from Ruiru. Let's say Ruiru. Purchase order number, we can have the PO number, purchase order number. Maybe we had made an order. Let's say PO, that is PO, that is for November. Let's say December 12th. The year is 2024. Or for example, this is purchase order number what? Let's say purchase order number 10. Purchase order number 10 of December 2024. So you can have such. If you have serial number, you can always put your serial number here. Since furnitures do not have a warranty, or maybe if they are plastic, they have warranty. I don't know. If you are purchasing electronics, for example, you can have warranty. So you may make note if you like. You can make a note there. But for my case, I'm not going to make any note, so I'll record it and hit OK. So you can see that we have what? We have the furniture and equipment. They are there. Let me repeat again. I've said if you are recording an asset, you've purchased, this time let's purchase a motor vehicle. Motor vehicle here. I want to add a new motor vehicle, an MV. I want to say that we have motor vehicle in the business. motor vehicle in the business. Motor vehicle. Let's say we have motor vehicle there. The asset account is for motor vehicle account. Let's say we have, it is not meant for sale, so we can talk a motor, it is an asset, it is not an income. So we don't have it here. So these are
There was
current,
some
sorry,
there was some where it had asset motor vehicle.
asset motor vehicle, let's check. These are
Um
expenses, these are cost of goods, we have income here. We have equity here, we have current liabilities, we have payables, fixed assets, we have accumulated depreciation. Yeah, if the car is meant for sale, definitely it's going to accumulate. Mhm.
after retained earnings.
Where is it? Probably you have
Uh
it, and maybe I don't have it.
there is. I'm looking at your work. I don't have I'm not
Okay,
using my
let me go where we have retained earnings. Oh, yeah, I have seen it.
yes,
Let's see,
yes.
but this is an income account, and ours is an asset account.
Mm,
So probably we can adjust this. So we can maybe go to list and check the charts of accounts and adjust that retained earnings. This one, it's supposed to be an asset. Let's see.
yes.
You see, it is under income. We can call it fixed assets because it is purely meant to be a fixed asset. Then we can check whether it is under now fixed assets. You see, now it is under fixed assets.
Yes.
You can always adjust the account the way you want as far as you're able to see them, those accounts.
Okay.
Uh, right. So the item is new. We have purchased this item as new. So purchase description. Maybe this is what. Let's say for example we have let's say premium. Let's talk about premium. Let's say we can call it premium 260 2020. Let's say 2015 model. Let's say it has 1800 cc. So that is capacity. We can also describe that here. We can say Premier 260 2015 model 1800 cc. So purchase description, maybe we can continue and say this is manual or maybe auto transmission or manual transmission. The date of purchase is today, for example, and probably we have purchased this car 2 million Kenya shillings. That is 2 million Kenya shillings. Then where did we buy this car from? Let's say, for example, Prestige Motors. Prestige Motors. You have Prestige Motors. Then what else are we supposed to add here? The serial number. Probably we can talk about the chassis number. We can have any number for the chassis because the vehicle has chassis number. Let's say chassis number, let's say 1, 2, 3. But of course we have the chassis number. We don't have maybe purchase order number. Let's say this is Kiabu Road. We'll say this is Kiabu Road. It was purchased Kiabu Road, Nairobi, Kenya, or Kenya. Kiambu is in Kenya. So we can leave it at that point. We don't need other notes and so forth. So we can record that. We ignore also that we can save. So the asset is here. the asset is here. Let me show you something. Is there any question about how we record the assets before I move to something else?
No?
No?
Okay. So once you record that, now that we have created assets, we have assets, the worthiness in our business. So we can check the report, one report for the assets, company and financials. So when you go to reports and click company and financials, our interest is where we have the assets, which is the balance sheet. And I want to open a detailed balance sheet, not standard. Standard is just like a summary. Okay, it is not that detailed, but I want detailed what? Report on what I have in my business. The financial position of the business, that is the balance sheet. So I want to see what I have in my business. So you can be able to see that the business is worth how much? Is it 27 million? 27 million. So we don't have drawings from the members. They have not drawn anything. So we had assets. We can look at kind of assets that we have. For example, current assets. We can look at what is making this is here we have the current asset 109. That is cooperative bank. We have an account. Cash at bank is an asset. Remember, cash at hand is an asset. Stock
Yes.
assets. We have motor
Yes.
vehicle. In current assets, we have we move to equity, the savings that you have. Then KCB, you have some amount. Equity Bank, we have money. We have NCBA, we had some money. So that is an asset. Those are assets because they are money in that bank. Then we have account receivable, we don't have. Inventory, you can be able to see we have inventory here. It is meant for sale. That motor vehicle that we recorded first was meant for sale. So it's like a showroom for this one, worth 20 million. Accumulated depreciation, we don't have it, but it's always good to record depreciation. If, for example, the car will be sold, we have purchased that car today, maybe after 5 years we are going to sell that car. You cannot sell the same value, so you have to reduce, or rather it will depreciate or lose value. So we don't have current assets there. We have garbage collectors are here. They are under what we call accounts payable. Accounts payable. Account payable means that we are paying them as bills because we are supposed to pay them. I don't know whether we paid this. Yes, we definitely paid, but it is part of the account payable, which is a liability to the business. Uh, then, so that is the report. So if you want to print the report, definitely you can comment on the report. You can customize the report if you like. You can print the report. Maybe, for example, let me say I want to save it as PDF. Let's say this is let me call it financial position. Financial position. Let's say on the desktop, I want to save it there. Financial position. Mhm. Okay, let me just create a folder here and save it there. Training purpose, that is QB training, QB training. November intake 2024. November intake 2024. Let me try to save it there. Still not saving. Let me try to save it in the flash then and see whether it will save. Still not saving. Save the document as PDF. It's supposed to save. You know what is happening. Let's try to export it then, but obviously it's supposed to. Let me first of all check that report. Yeah, see, this one is telling us to print. We don't want to print. What about customize the report? I'll customize it. Let me first of all export it. I want us to see it in an Excel, because in an Excel you can also be able to format the report the way you like. You can create new worksheets. You can export it. Let me save it YY. I hope this time it will save. So YY. Supposed to export. What is not happening? Create a new worksheet.
Hapa tumemaliza
We call it
dada. Kwa laptop ikimaliza
YY by Tatu. Let me try to save it there. You can call it YY here. Where is it? YY. Where is YY? It's supposed to be here. Here, why is it not exporting? It's supposed to export.
register, like you said, if you want to transfer money from one bank to another,
Mhm.
that's the process of doing
Yes.
it. Yes.
Okay. All right. So do that work. We are going to review the work next week on Monday. Then we can call it a night. Otherwise, have a good night. Enjoy the rest of your week.
Okay, thank you and have a good night too.
Okay.
Yeah.